There's nothing worse than that sinking feeling that you've made a miscalculation, offended someone when you didn't mean to, or poured a lot of money into a useless endeavor. The very worst part is how you feel afterward, ashamed, guilty, and most of all, angry at yourself. Forgiving yourself after a screw-up, especially with negative consequences, can be a huge emotional challenge. It probably won't happen overnight. But through the years, I've found a few things to say to myself that help me get past the worst of the guilt and shame. We all make mistakes, that's for sure. Some we find it easier to forget, while others genuinely stick with us, making it hard for us to get over them and move on with our life. Anyone who ever struggled with letting go of a past mistake knows that it can take a toll on you. Because we want to help you learn how to overcome a mistake faster and focus on the future instead of the past, we've devised a guide with a couple of actionable tips. Let's have a look. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Practice self-compassion. When you make a mistake like nodding off in an important meeting, don't fall into the trap of self-criticism, as easy as it is to do. Reliving a moment might cause you to obsess and wallow in regret. As the New York Times writes, it's important to practice self-compassion or be kind to yourself. The easiest way to do this is to look at your experience from an outsider's perspective. Realize that it was just a mistake. They call it a mistake for a reason, and that reason is that it isn't intentional. You didn't mean to do it, which means that if you're telling yourself that you're a bad person because of it, you should stop doing that. Moreover, you have to forgive yourself for it. Think about what led to you making the mistake. Maybe you misunderstood something, or you had other priorities and allowed yourself to get distracted. Regardless of the reason, making mistakes is human, and you should never forget that. It wasn't on purpose. What was the thought process that led to your big mistake? Chances have you misunderstood the circumstances, miscommunicated with someone, or dropped the ball out of inattentiveness or competing priorities. You didn't set out to create a calamity, you did it by accident. And you have to forgive yourself for that accident because it doesn't mean you're a bad person, just a mistaken one. Keep a gratitude journal. Focus on the things you are most grateful for and what you have done. It is extremely difficult to be grateful for something and feel angry or down on yourself at the same time. Replace your self-pitying thoughts with ones of gratitude and feel the joy that comes washing over you. Remember, everyone makes mistakes. Most successful people have made many of them. Learn from them when you can, and realize the pain is temporary. When successes do come, you can look back at your mistakes and laugh with triumph, knowing they helped you get where you are. Trust your instincts. Whatever happened was the right thing because that is what happened. Instead of playing out several better scenarios in your mind, try to trust the instincts with which you made the decision. Also, remember that it's easy to confuse regret with the anxiety that is part of the change, especially if your mistake involved a major life transition. Our brains have a negative bias, often focusing on panic more than peace. However, with a bit of time, the wisdom of your decision will become more apparent. The challenge is to stop second-guessing yourself until you can see the situation more clearly. Stay present. If you want to avoid obsessing over the past, staying present is key, and easier said than done, we know. As we've written before, mindful meditation, or the practice of paying attention to the present, can help you to avoid some of the anxiety associated with the mistakes you've made. But if you aren't the meditation type, find an activity that forces you to engage at the moment, like exercise, watching movies, reading books, or cooking. In other words, give yourself another problem to solve, one that's achievable and can provide an immediate, positive emotional response. Remind yourself that you are a good person who does a lot of good in the world. So you messed up big time. Or maybe it isn't that big of a deal. Either way, it's consuming your mind and eating away at your ego. Learn to let go of that mistake. Realize you are a wonderful individual with so much to offer the world. You have many great talents and have had many successes. Maybe you won the bake sale last year. Perhaps you donate to charity. Focus on the parts of yourself that you like and let those thoughts engulf you.